Ladies and gentlemen, Labor Day has come and gone. It is Wednesday, September 3rd, and the race is on till the end of the 2025 Pro Rodeo season. That, of course, is September 30th. So obviously a lot to break down before that, a big weekend. And from here on out, if they're not already all big weekends throughout the summer run, they are all big weekends in September. This is No Huddle Rodeo. We're coming to you live from the Fort Worth Stockyards. As always, we are presented by Justin Boots and Runyon's Fine Furniture, as always. And on today's show, we're talking Roughstock winners in Ellensburg, specifically Stetson Wright's Ellensburg Extreme Bulls win. And then the first leg of the Cinch playoffs is already here in Puyallup. It starts tomorrow, believe it or not. And so we are going to preview that, give you some athletes to watch, and then again, remind you of the stakes there at the Washington State Fair and Rodeo in Puyallup. But first, let's go to another city in Washington, and that is Ellensburg, the Labor Day tradition of over 100 years. And again, we're focusing on the Roughstock winners here because they're all intriguing for their different reasons. For starters, in the bareback riding, a three-way tie, all of them in the top 5 in the PRCA World Standings. So that's how you know you got a dang good rodeo if your three-way tie is all guys in the top 5 in the World Standings. And number 1 was not there. Rocker Steiner was not in Ellensburg, which again gave all of these guys an opportunity. Cole Franks, he breaks the arena record with 90.5 points on Disco Party. So he was 81.5 on his first horse in the long round, but follows it up with 90.5 in the short round, which is enough to be in that three-way tie. He's back to number 5 in the world, and you want consistency this summer. For the entire summer, Cole Franks has been between number 5 and number 9. Now it's all about, can he stay at number 5? Maybe get to number 4, maybe get to number 3 by the time the end of the regular season comes, because this is a guy who has earned at least $150,000 at all 3 of his NFRs. That includes $263,000 in 2022. So if he is within 75,000, let's say, of Rocker Steiner, you got to imagine he's got a chance at a gold buckle, because he is going to be in the mix in the average, just like another guy he tied with. This guy won the long round, and that's Jess Pope. 87 to win the long round, 85 in the short round. Again, it is good enough for a tie with Cole Franks and also Bradley Miller, who we're going to get to. But we've said it before, we've talked about it on this show, but just a reminder of how consistent Jess Pope has been in the summer run. He is the highest earner in the bareback riding outside of Rocker Steiner, $106,000 during the summer run. Checks in 27 of his 29 rodeos throughout the summer run. And because of how good he has been in the summer run, it is Jess Pope, not Rocker Steiner, who leads the PRCA in average score right now. We cover this in another video we have up on the channel in the morning kick today, but Jess Pope, if he is within $60,000 at the beginning of the NFR, which he is right now as it stands today, about $60,000, $62,000 behind Rocker Steiner. But if he's within $60,000 at the NFR, this is a guy who in his career averages about $185,000 at the NFR. He's won 3 NFR average titles. He's ridden 23 horses for 83 points or better. So if he is in the mix at all, again, $60,000, $75,000, he has got as good of a shot as a gold buckle as anybody. And winning a big rodeo like in Ellensburg, that's his biggest win of the summer. So to have that in the final month of the year, Jess Pope, an opportunity to make this thing really, really interesting as the number 3 bareback rider in the world. But not to be outdone, Bradley Miller, he also split that win with those 2 guys. And this is a guy who never lost. I mean, he was number 1 when he got hurt in July, but he has never slipped below number 2 Jess Pope has pushed him, but every dollar counts, and he is still about $600 ahead of Jess Pope. And this is a guy who you remember at the NFR went from number 11 to number 3 in the world last year. So Bradley Miller and Jess Pope, both of those guys, you look at in some events, the number one guy in this event, it's Rocker Steiner, who rightfully gets a lot of headlines. But you look at some guys who are number one in the world who may not get pushed a ton, or may only get pushed by one or two guys, or may not get pushed by the guys immediately behind them. Well, in bareback riding, with the way Bradley Miller is riding right now, $24,000 in August, with the way Jess Pope is riding right now, number 2 and number 3 are going to push Rocker Steiner for the rest of the season. And maybe, just maybe, they may have a leg up on him at the national finals rodeo as well. It was not all just bareback riding there, saddle bronc riding. Damian Brennan up to number 2 in the world. Ellensburg joins Spanish Forks, Salinas, Sheridan, and Reno. His 5th playoff series win of the summer run. He's got 10 straight rides of 85 points or better, 86.5 and 88 to win Ellensburg. And this is the power. This is why nothing can really be counted or counted on until the summer run year after year. Damian Brennan at the beginning of the summer run was number 14 in the world, $94,000 behind Ryder Wright. He is now number 2 in the world. Ryder Wright still number 1, but Ryder Wright only leads Damian Brennan by about $44,000 now. So we'll see how that goes down the stretch. And then lastly, in the bull riding, Hudson Bolton has been in the Rookie of the Year race the entire year. He's been on the NFR bubble, and he said afterward, talking to the Cowboy Channel's Haley Novak, that he knew he needed a big one to ensure to punch his ticket to the NFR. Now at number 10 in the world after a 2-for-2 performance, 84.5 and 88 in Ellensburg. He has probably done that, and his first big one comes as his first pro rodeo win. Listen to this. His first pro rodeo win outside New York or New Jersey. So you don't hear that a lot. He's a 19-year-old rookie, but his first win this season, that did not come from one of those 2 states. He is not only top 10 in the PRCA world standings, he is now neck and neck with Quinn Anderson in the Resist All rookie race. He has taken the lead there. Both those guys will probably make the NFR. So that will not get sorted out until the national finals rodeo. But should he become Rookie of the Year, he would be Rookie of the Year in the PBR and the PRCA. You don't see a lot of guys go entire seasons in both, make the World Finals and the NFR. He was number 7 in the PBR. I believe he would be the first one ever to be PBR and PRCA Rookie of the Year, which would just be incredible. I'm surprised we don't see more crossover now at this stage in those 2 organizations, because it has been made a little easier with the team season and the PRCA. You can win more money and going to less rodeos. But regardless, Hudson Bolton has proven that guy just wants to get on bulls, and he will get on bulls anywhere, and he will be one of the best in the world, whether it is PBR or PRCA competition. We're going to stick in Ellensburg. We're going to stick in bull riding. And if we are doing that, we are talking Stetson Wright, because Stetson Wright sweeps the Ellensburg Extreme Bulls. He 40%s it, which means he won $37,385. Rides of 87 and 91.5. And this bull riding pays so much money. And we've got the Extreme Bulls finals coming up. That pays a lot of money too. And then the Governor's Cup, and then the playoffs, and all of those. But I always forget how much the Ellensburg Extreme Bulls pays. And so Stetson Wright wins that. And with that, it goes with Ogden, Sheridan, Casper, Livingston, Reno. But it is his first massive, massive win of the summer, except for Reno. And remember, Wasey Shala won Calgary. Wasey Shala won the Cheyenne Extreme Bowl. So Stetson, although he has been statistically better than Wasey Shala in just about every way all summer, Wasey has been able to keep pace with Stetson because of his big wins. Well, now Stetson has that big win. And with that big win, he's got $347,920. He's about $20,000 away from breaking his own regular season earnings record set in 2023, the last time he was healthy. But perhaps more important than all of this, he has got a little breathing room. He leads Wacy Shala by about $30,000 right now. That is the largest lead Stetson or Wacy have taken over each other in the last 2 months since this became a real race. And now Stetson is back in control. Again, he's ridden more bulls than Wacy for a higher average score than Wacy. This bodes well for Stetson Wright, because if he can take any kind of lead into the NFR, it would be tough to bet against Stetson Wright, health notwithstanding. And so this was huge. And I would not be surprised at all if we look back and say, this was the difference. This is what made Stetson Wright a world champion, or this is when he started to run away with it. If we somehow don't remember it was close based on how Stetson finishes the year and does at the NFR. But I do think, again, we'll look back and say this was a pivotal moment. This was a sliding doors moment. And this was kind of when Stetson stepped up to the plate and said, I'm here. I'm him. This is my race. He was also 2 for 2 at the rodeo, so 4 for 4 in Ellensburg. He's ridden 6 of his last 7 after a 1 for 6 start in August. So he is hot right now, and we are coming into September. And when the chips are down, when it matters most, that's the time to bet on Stetson Wright. So I would imagine he extends this lead, and I think Stetson wins this world title. I will say it right here. I haven't been comfortable saying that. I think I've said it something similar a few times, but now I feel pretty good about saying Stetson Wright's got a really, really, really good shot to now win that bull riding world title. We close. Another place where world titles will be won and lost. That is in Puyallup. Huge rodeo in and of itself. 3,500 to go round winners, 13,000 plus to the rodeo winners. Chance for every champion of this rodeo to win $15,000 to $20,000. All the best in the world, top 23 in the playoff, not the world standings, top 23 in the playoff standings, plus the NFR Open winners. So it's going to be terrific competition in Puyallup. It's going to pay a lot of money, but most importantly, the top 8 in the playoff standings after this rodeo, along with the 4 finalists from Puyallup. And again, if those 4 finalists are also in the top 8, they'll take 5th, 6th, 7th, so on and so forth. That is who will remain at the Governor's Cup. And the Governor's Cup pays $5,000 per go round and $30,000 plus for winning the whole thing. So you are not only trying to win this rodeo, trying to make a bunch of money here, which of course you can, but you are earning the right to compete in Sioux Falls, where again, world titles will be won and lost. NFR dreams will 100% be won and lost in Sioux Falls at the Governor's Cup. So a lot at stake, not just 15-ish K to the winner. And of the people who have a lot at stake, I just wrote down some names I want you all to be aware of, to really pay special attention to for various reasons at this weekend's event in Puyallup. In the bareback riding, Tilden Hooper is number 22 in the world, but he is number 11 in the playoff series standing. So if he can make the final 4 or get to number 8, that could very well mean an NFR qualification for Tilden Hooper, NFR number 10. That would be for him. Steer wrestling, Mike McGinn, number 9 in the playoff standings, number 17 overall. And so if he is good enough this weekend to get into the top 8, he will probably be in the top 15 overall, which would mean a good performance at the Governor's Cup would certainly send him to his first NFR. Team roping is the only one on the flip side of all this. Derek Begay and Coulter Todd, they are number 15 and 16 in the playoff standings, respectively. But they are number 2 in the world. And so they're in a situation where if they don't make the final 4 here, they're going to have a final weekend where they're top 3 in the world at worst, probably. But they got to watch potentially Wade and Thorpe and Driggers and Nagara and Summers and Corkhill all fly by them in the world standings. Well, they're trying to go to 5 different rodeos and piece together $10,000. They could watch Wade and Thorpe go 3-6 in one round in Sioux Falls, and boom, they're ahead of them in the world standings. They will then have their work cut out for them in the world title race for a pair who's been number 1 or 2 for the entire season since March. But they are, as it stands right now, they need to make the Final Four to have any shot at the Governor's Cup. And the Governor's Cup, if they don't make it, they could end up really, really behind the 8 ball come NFR time. Tie down roping, kind of like steer wrestling, but a little better. Marcus Costa, number 7 in the playoff standings, number 19 overall. If he holds his spot, he will have the opportunity that every bubble cowboy dreams of. He will be, if he holds his spot in the playoff standings, he's probably one great run away at the Governor's Cup from returning to the national finals. Same thing goes for Colton Fritzland, or similar thing, I should say. Number 9 in the playoff standings, number 19 overall. If he rides 2 bulls this weekend, he is probably one big bull ride in Sioux Falls away from making his first NFR since 2020. And he made a lot of noise at that NFR, by the way, in 2020 in Arlington, but we have never seen him in Las Vegas. So there's obviously like 10 names you could watch in every event, but just wanted to run through those because, again, they really tell you not just what this weekend is all about in Puyallup, but what it means for the rest of the season and why this matters, again, for not just world standings purposes right this second, but for Governor's Cup purposes, because there are going to be athletes, there are going to be competitors who are ranked highly in the standings, who are in bubble races, potentially in world title races, who you will not see in Sioux Falls. And you're going to go, why the heck aren't they in Sioux Falls? Well, don't come asking me. You can come ask me. I'll tell you. But I'll point you to this episode, and I'll say I explained that. So this is me explaining why this rodeo is one of the most important that we have had all season and why it matters for a plethora of reasons. Regardless of all that, going to be very, very good watching from Puyallup this weekend. You can watch it all on the Cowboy Channel. We are presented to you by Runyons and Justin Boots. We are coming to you from the Fort Worth Stockyards. We are here Monday through Thursday on YouTube, and we will be back tomorrow with a preview of the action in Anaheim in the PBR. We'll also be back here on Wednesday for another episode of No Huddle Rodeo to break down everything we discussed, because we go Puyallup, Pendleton, Governor's Cup, Puyallup, Pendleton, Rough Rider Cup, Governor's Cup. And then we go to Duel at the Dunes if you're a Roughstock Cowboy. A lot coming up this September. We are here, like I said, every Wednesday to break it all down. We hope you like. We hope you subscribe. We hope you comment. That all helps us. But most importantly, we hope you enjoyed this episode of No Huddle Rodeo. And we will see you on Wednesday for our next edition. Thank you for joining me, and tune in to all things Puyallup, because things are very, very serious right now in professional rodeo.